I have with me David Pakman. He is a progressive host and executive producer of the nationally syndicated radio and TV program, The David Pakman Show. And I wanted to talk to David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman, he is a beta male. Some beta males.
Can you remind the audience, when you talk about being a beta male and being an alpha male, what are we talking about here?
There are males, most men today, male, they think and act like a woman. They're emotional, they are mentally off, they have no logic. And that's a beta male. They go along with homosexuality.
Hold on, whoa, Jesse, we got it. That's a lot.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot. Hold on.
They agree with everything that's wrong. Abortion, they think and act just like a woman. A beta male does. But a non-beta male doesn't, because he's a logical thinking. And they're controlled by the darkness of David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta males.
Thank your lucky stars every day you're not Dave Pakman. Ooh. Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you, he thinks. Oh, Joe Rogan.
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
Mexico and we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged with documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation?
Big massive dumps.
Elements
of bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
and showers.
Big massive dumps.
Duty,
of bathrooms.
duty. 10 times, 15 times. Not me,
Elements of bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements of bathrooms.
Welcome, everybody. It is day 2 of CPAC, and what a day it has already been. We are looking very strongly at a number of different things here, and we are going to continue doing so. This current panel, which is happening live, is called Who's Going to Tell Kamala? The panelists are, this is Lynn Patton on your screen right now. Oh, what are they chanting? Is it lock someone up?
There's a rumor that she and Kamala met 6 months ago to discuss a potential dual ticket.
Wow.
They are both
Who's
so
on top in that
delusional.
equation? Oh, you people. Top of the ticket. Come on.
So one of the things about CPAC this year is that I tweeted about this, and it was a pretty strong tweet, I would say. The top applause and standing ovations are in reaction to homophobic and transphobic claims and statements. That's the kind of theme this year for CPAC. So this is Who's Going to Tell Kamala, Larry O'Connor, Rogan O'Handley, Kurt Schlichter, and Lynn Patton are the 4 panelists. And, you know, you tell me who's who. I know that the woman is Lynn Patton, but all the other people, I couldn't tell you who's who. But maybe this guy here is Larry O'Connor. I don't know. So interesting things coming up are that momentarily J.D. Vance is going to be speaking. Now, I'm sure that you guys all know who I'm talking about when I say J.D. Vance, right? Because you hold on. Do I have the thing? Here it is.
We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel.
Yes, J.D. Vance is who Trump meant. He's speaking, and that will be followed up by Marjorie Trader Green in an event called I'll Take My Committees Back Now. So that's all coming up in the next few moments. Now, many of you wondering what the hell is going on here. I was going to stream earlier and I was going to stream later, and it was going to be a longer stream and a wider stream and a girthier stream and all these different things. This is the stream of CPAC for today. And then I may stream the Trump rally tonight. I can't say for sure, but I may do it.
Then he went, Donald Trump. Yeah,
Donald Trump. Yeah. So that may be tonight. I think I would say if we get to 100 members, I will definitely stream tonight. And if not, I may or may not. We'll just kind of take it from there. Let's get established here and see if we can establish the stream strongly. Robert Havens sent a super chat. Hail Brandon, our dark lord and savior of democracy and the economy. Absolutely. Did you guys see that Dark Brandon is now overseeing a 3.5% unemployment rate? We're basically at full employment in the United States. God bless the United States. And more than 500,000 new jobs created last month. It's genuinely bonkers. Now, honestly, I'm not even praising Joe Biden, but a lot of these things just are much bigger than any one president. But it's getting increasingly hard to argue that there's an economic disaster. And I know that there's much speculation about recession or not, or these different things. We have to just follow what the data is. But it's hard to imagine some massive recession given full employment, massive consumer demand, declining gas prices. What I believe on Tuesday we will learn is declining inflation overall, stock market up 9% in July. It doesn't seem like a recession is all I'm saying. And I know there's many economists. Our audience is filled with PhD economists who regularly disagree with me in the chat. But that's kind of my take on it right now. Other super chats coming in. Without saying what the answer is, have you made up your mind as to whether there is a stream later? No. Whether there is a stream later, I believe, will depend on whether we get to 100 members and Twitch Prime subscribers. Now, let's just see what's going on. There's Donald Trump tonight is speaking in a place called Waukesha, Wisconsin. And this is what's going on. As you can see, the crowd is so ready for tonight's rally. And people taking the shortcut, I guess. This woman taking the long way around, and just a lot happening in Wisconsin right now. But there is a rally tonight. Let's listen a little bit.
Race. Adam Steen is a little-known candidate who is challenging the current Speaker of the Assembly, Robin Vos. And Robin Vos has been a disappointment, to say the least, not just for those of us that care a lot about election integrity.
So as you can see, it's very exciting outside the Trump rally in Wisconsin. That would theoretically be tonight. And I may stream it. I may not. We are going to see. Now, pointing in the direction of streaming are the fact that we are already seeing membership dumps. I want to say thank you to Terry Schwerin, Joe Rader. Joe has been gifting memberships for a very long time, as well as Jason Sickmeyer getting us on the board at 3. Also over on Twitch, Try Eye Gamer, Jen here, Cosmic Huntress, Copper Bunny, Captain Smiles, all grabbing Twitch Prime subscriptions. Super chats continuing to come in. 2 of the memberships I have gifted have yet to be claimed. Can they be given to someone who will claim them? Yeah, what happens is we will send the free membership to someone. Some people don't claim it, and some people think it's spam. They're like, nobody would really be gifting me a membership. And it's like, yes, people are gifting memberships. So just let us know, and then we'll send them to someone else. Waukesha. Guys, I know it's Waukesha. I don't actually think it's pronounced Waukesha. That was a joke. I know it's Waukesha. That's just a joke. It's just a joke. And for people in the chat asking for free memberships, we have a process. You've got to get in line. We will let people in, but they've got to do it legally and in order. And you go to davidpakman.com/free membership to put your name down saying you would like a free membership. So again, if you're just joining us, this is a panel called Who's Going to Tell Kamala, featuring Larry O'Connor, Rogan O'Handley, Kurt Schlichter, and Lynn Patton, 4 people I have not heard of. The next panel is one called Ay Caramba, with David Harris, Yesli Vega, Cassie Garcia, and Mercedes Schlapp. I can only imagine it's something about Latino voters, judging from the name and the fact that there are, I believe, 3 people considered loosely Hispanic on the panel. And then it will go to JD, right? JP Mandel, and then Marjorie Trader Green, and then conspiracy theorist Jack Posobiec. And then it gets crazier from there. There's actually a panel where they're bringing on these 2 doctors, Robert Malone and Peter McCullough, who are anti-vax doctors. It's going to become a total mess. And later, Nebraska governor, is it Nebraska or Oklahoma governor Kevin's tit? Is Kevin's tit the Oklahoma or the Nebraska governor? I never remember. Anybody? Kevin's tit, Oklahoma or Nebraska? Oklahoma. Okay. Oklahoma governor Kevin's tit. Yeah, that's later. And then tomorrow it will be Donald Trump. But tonight Trump is speaking in Wisconsin. Okay. All right. Couple other super chats. Having phone banked for campaigns before and people can be awful at times on the phone. What tips can you provide to help get the positive message across in aiding campaigns? Ask an expert on phone banking. I've never done it. So I don't want to weigh in on things I don't know anything about. And big thank you to Haley from Georgia, who has gifted 10 YouTube memberships. We're going to count those today. That puts us at 18. So website memberships at joinpakman.com, Twitch subscriptions, and YouTube gifts. We're counting all of it. Thanks to Bob Walsh for signing up at joinpakman.com. Also, Alex Skinner and Brian Potts have gifted memberships. That puts us at 21 and well on our way to another stream tonight. Also, thanks to Slacks and Polo for the Twitch Prime membership. All right, let's listen a little bit. I mean, after all, we are sort of here for CPAC. Let's just see what level of bonkers is happening. But then I want to go to some of the highlights and lowlights from yesterday and today.
Oh, it's not Kamala. It's not anyone else on this list. All these Democrats. How about this one? For the Democratic nomination for president in 2024, Liz Cheney.
Well, Larry, she's a shoo-in to take her home state of Virginia.
Yeah.
I didn't know Miss Piggy would be eligible.
Oh, now that's just unkind.
I guess the joke
named
is
Mitt
that,
Romney.
yeah, Liz Cheney is considered a rhino.
A rhino named Mitt Romney.
Mean!
Media Matters usually cuts up all these segments into little bites. It's like, what are they going to do with this?
Yeah, Media Matters can bite us.
Lynn, Liz Cheney?
I mean, look, she and Kevin Costner have one thing in common. They're both fake ranchers.
And neither live in Wyoming.
Is this a comedy one? Is this supposed to be funny?
I have to leave it up to you to fill in these blanks, but we have determined one thing. These guys are awesome. Rogan O'Handley, Kurt Schlichter, Lynn Patton. Woo! I'm Larry O'Connor. Thank you for saving this country.
All right, now with the country saved, these absolute American heroes can walk off the stage. They are running about 20 minutes behind right now. This was supposed to have ended 20 minutes ago. Coming up next is a panel called Ay Caramba with David Harris, Yesli Vega, Cassie Garcia, and Mercedes Schlapp. That's next. That will be followed by a defiant and principled speech by J.D. Vance called The Rise of the Hillbilly. And then after that, we will hear from Marjorie Trader Green. I'm going to be streaming for a couple hours. Then I've got a few things to do. And later, okay, yeah, so this is the idea here is this is the Latino panel. I can only imagine how inspirational this is going to be. Let's actually listen to a little bit of this. I'm sort of curious. And just so everybody knows, I am Latin American. I'm an immigrant from Argentina. English is my second language. Just in case anybody finds any of the commentary I might have about this seemingly inappropriate in some way, let's play identity politics, and I'll just remind you that I am Argentinian.
No, the title of this panel is Ay Caramba, but it's because the original title was Breakfast Tacos, but Jill Biden took that title from us.
Wow, whoever's writing for this thing, they should be writing for The Daily Show.
Cassie, you're running for Congress in the great state of Texas. Which district?
28.
Okay, 28. So if you're in District 28, this is the person you're going to vote for, okay? And, you know, you've seen this transition happening right now. You're running against Henry Cuellar. The district has fundamentally changed.
Dear God, let's hope Henry wins.
Ay caramba message to the Democrats. What are you seeing on the ground?
So I'm so honored to be here today. The red wave that sent Mara Flores to Congress in June, it's the same red wave that's going to send me to Congress.
That red wave is dead. Democrats are now leading.
Same red wave that's going to send Nancy Pelosi packing come this November. So we are excited. We are here.
Yes.
Yeah, and your goal is, and I was reading about, what you're pushing for. It's about protecting the unborn. It is about protecting our Constitution. What do you think is a big message that you're going to drive come November?
Yeah, so I am so excited to be running for Congress. I'm running to defend faith, family, and freedom. In South Texas, District 28, we are conservative, and the Democrat Party has left the Hispanic community. We do not support open borders. We support a strong and secure border, and this administration who says we have a closed border, we have news for you. Come this November, we are going to flip District 28 red.
Let's hope not.
Yes.
Let's hope not.
Mujeres y caballeros, this is what the New York Times calls the far-right Latina. Is she a far-right Latina?
Well, I don't know. She hasn't said much yet, but the fact that she's obsessed with abortion sounds like it.
Is Latinx, he, him? I don't know. I got to talk to him about this. We're very concerned. David, you are such a powerhouse on social media. You are the one who speaks the truth, and you're saying to this, especially to the black community, come home.
Yeah.
Come to the conservative movement. What are your selling points? What are you telling them? What's the message?
Well, when it comes to the Democratic base of today, so many people are waking up because the Democrats just continue to push crazy. Am I right? They just continue to push the craziest initiatives. In Pennsylvania, they're literally saying that 3-year-olds can transition. 3-year-olds? Are you kidding me?
Is that even true? I haven't heard that that's happening.
If you can believe that.
Did they say that, like, a boy can wear high heels if he wants? I mean, what does it mean? What are they even talking about?
I have a 3.5-month-old grandbaby girl. And for any of us that have babies or have grandkids, to think about what the Democrats are currently doing right now, what they're pushing on our children. They are literally trying to steal the innocence of our kids.
Yes.
They're trying
literally or metaphorically?
Parent anywhere that if they found out that a teacher was talking heterosexual activity of any kind to a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old, that parent wouldn't be going to the police and that teacher would be arrested. Now the Democrats are pushing all of this on our children and they're just standing back. Parents are fed up. In the Democrat base, the parents that have common sense and especially believe and love Jesus. I think America needs Jesus right now more than ever. America needs Jesus right now more than ever. And you're not hearing that from Democrats. I had an amazing...
No, because Democrats respect the separation of church and state.
Said something that I said, you don't hear that in Democrat form.
Because it's unconstitutional.
Said, I'm going to listen to Holy Spirit.
He's right. Democrats aren't saying we're going to listen to the Holy Spirit to determine what policies we do.
The Bible that us that profess as Christians, as believers, of people of faith, believe in. They don't profess in that. They profess in something else that is no identity, it's gender confusion, it's gender dysphoria, and it's an all-out assault and attack on the identity of our children instead of telling them that their identity comes from God. And it's waking people up all across the Democratic base, independents, and it's making Republicans even more fierce in their determination.
And just to follow up on that story, when I said the Holy Spirit, the first thing David did, he put his hand over my shoulder and prayed over me.
Right.
This beautiful prayer.
What a good guy.
For each other.
Yes.
We got to pray for each other.
Yes.
We have to pray for our families. We have to pray for our country. We have to pray for our children. Don't give up on your children if you think your children are turning away. Bring them back to the light. Let them know they are loved, and that's what we have to do.
This is really a cult. I mean, it is crazy how much this is a cult.
As well, another Republican congressional candidate in a very competitive seat in Virginia, which I believe we are going to win as well. You decided to run. You jumped into this race. What made you say, I'm going to take this chance? I'm a proud conservative Latina.
Well, I'll say it until my very last breath. We live in the greatest country in the history of the world. Amen? Yes, we do.
Yes.
How many veterans do we have in this room tonight? Can you raise your hand? Can we hear it for our veterans? Thank you for your service. You are our national treasure.
This is very pandery.
I've never been one to back away from a fight. I am a mother of 2 beautiful kids, and I've always said this. I do not co-parent with the government. Okay, those babies are a blessing to my husband and I, and we're responsible for their upbringing, their educating. And what we've seen, as David stated, has been a full-blown assault on our children. And as a mom, you better believe that I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and just watch this.
So they're really playing up they're attacking our kids stuff here.
And I decided to run at the local level in 2019. We won not by shying away from our conservative values, but by proudly and boldly highlighting them and talking about them. And let me tell you, this is the year that we take back the House, fire Nancy Pelosi, and set the stage for the great American comeback of 2024.
Yeah! I love it.
Okay, so if you're not inspired already, I don't know what to tell you. You're in the wrong.
I know that it is hard. If this is not inspirational to you, then what would do it?
Of the Republican Party. They're the voices, all of them, that we need to continue this fight. You're married to a Border Patrol agent. You've seen the devastation at the border. I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but give us a sense of the battle that you're...
By the way, it's so histrionic, the devastation at the border. Like, what are they even talking about? I was down not that long ago. I spent some time in Arizona, and I was all along the Arizona border with Mexico and the California border. I didn't see any devastation whatsoever. Like, it seemed fine. Everything was fine.
Tell them these conversations that you're having, what they're all seeing at the border.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a nickname for Kamala. It's Que Mala, because we don't know where she's at.
Right. They have a nickname for the already mispronounced Kamala, which they say Kamala. These people are sick. All right, we're going to mute this a little bit because it's, a little bit nauseating. Coming up next is JP Mandel, and then after that, Marjorie Trader Green. But I think this kind of gives you a sense of the level on which they're operating. I want to hear from some of you guys here. David, my guns were taken away. Now I'm eating Elwood's organic dog meat. The Labrador steaks are fantastic. Yeah, what the reference there is that Lauren Boebert said that if you take away assault weapons, people will start eating dogs. Why, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea why people would eat dogs if they didn't have an AR-15. I just don't understand the connection. But that's what Lauren Boebert said. All right, let's catch up on a couple other things. First of all, CPAC Day 2, I'll be here for a few hours. If we get to 100 new members, Twitch subscribers, and gifted YouTube memberships, I will stream the Trump rally tonight. The Trump rally tonight, people can already go. If you're in Waukesha, Wisconsin, as you can see, look at the excitement, feel the excitement. Of course, Donald Trump, if he were indeed to speak tonight, would, I'm sure, make a whole bunch of different, very clear and important declarations and statements.
I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Could.
Yeah.
Fresh vegetables. Americans of all walks of life rose up.
Yeah.
Mexico named Mitt Romney. We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel. No more drop box. The drop boxes on 60 Minutes.
Yeah. So that's some of what you could expect to hear tonight, certainly. And I may be streaming that. So that's going on. I want to say thank you to people supporting the stream via Twitch. Zeno the Stranger, Agent Trav, and ASF Klops putting us at 25. Look at that. We are filling her up. And then also want to say thank you to Risto Turakowski, who just, I hope I'm not butchering that, who just signed up on my website. Thank you also to Tom Weeman for gifting a subscription. Lisa Rader has sent a gift. Rebecca Hayes just gifted a membership. Julie Zaring. Thank you to, hold on a second here, Jason Sickmeyer and Luke Treffry, putting us at 32. All much, much, much appreciated. Other super chats coming in. David, do you think most Argentinians like us in the U.S. vote Democrat or Republican? Oh, Democrat. No, this is not it's not a question of opinion, Solange. It's that basically Latin Americans, Latinos, Hispanic, whatever word you want to use, a very left-wing group, with the exception of Cuban Americans and to some degree Venezuelan Americans. But outside of those, they tend to be more right-wing sort of reactions to, they see themselves as, by supporting Republicans, opposing the Castro and Chavez Maduro regimes. You be the judge as to whether that makes sense. But outside of Cuban Americans and Venezuelan Americans, Latin Americans from South America, Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, et cetera, very, very left-wing, almost as left-wing as Jewish Americans. Three of the most liberal constituencies are Jewish Americans, Black Americans, and then to a slightly lesser degree, Hispanic Americans. Let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, let's look at a couple of clips from earlier, because it has been wild at CPAC, absolutely wild. Hold on, this is good too. Here's some kind of interview from the Trump rally that's going on tonight.
Des Marie.
Where are you from?
Wisconsin.
You love President Trump, right?
Yes.
Why don't you show everybody your cute little doll there, little Trumpy bear there. That's really cute. And we've got, hey, you got the man himself out here. How you doing?
Tremendous. How are you?
Oh, God. Oof. I don't know that I can do the rally tonight, to be totally frank, guys. That is really bumming me out. Man, let's just move on without comment, okay? Peter Ducey asked why the president is bragging about gas prices.
Last one. Why is the president bragging today about gas prices?
Because it's gone down.
Oh, man, that's pretty good. All right, here's a woman at the Trump rally today showing off her custom Trump outfit.
Guys, take a look at this.
Wisconsin's very own Trump gown. I had
Wisconsin. I like that. Wisconsin.
this made. A woman from Berlin, Wisconsin made this. I bought all the fabric for it and had it made. And it represents God and country. It represents President Trump.
Yeah, when I see that dress, I think about Jesus. That's definitely what I'm thinking about. Let's see what else we've got here. I guess this is at CPAC. Sarah Palin was asked what are her priorities if she gets elected to Congress.
Do it to its ultimate end and then hold people accountable.
Not only that, but we can't give up on the other corrupt acts that put our country in the position that we're in, like the 30,000 emails that were erased and that was okay. That crooked Hillary did that. Benghazi. Oh my gosh, all these things were, we're going to investigate. Congress should be having these badass huge rallies on the steps of the Capitol, and it should be congressmen. They have the platform. They should be having these press conferences. They should even be having fireside chats. They should do whatever they can to get
Fireside charts. Wow, that would be crazy.
out there with a message to the public to let them know what's going on, right? I don't know why they don't seize the opportunity.
She seems to have a very strange appearance. Anyway, so Hillary's emails, I guess, are like a really big thing for Sarah Palin right now. That's interesting. Rick Scott delivered a bonkers speech at CPAC. He seemed to be making very little sense. Now, the ideas from these people never make sense. But what I mean here is that the words didn't even make sense.
Everyone will obey and no one will be allowed to complain. If you do speak up, boom, you're going to be canceled. Your views, if you don't conform with Big Tech, Fauci, or Neil Young, you're going to be taken off Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
If you don't go along with Fauci's views, you get taken off of Spotify. Man, I don't want that to happen to me.
The militant left in America are the modern-day version of book burners.
Right. Look at how pleased he looks. Did you see that pause? That was an applause line, but all you heard was like, and then he paused, and then the applause came. What a pathetic clown.
The militant left in America are the modern-day version of book burners.
This is insane. The modern-day version of book burners.
Canceling, silence, and banning from the internet is book burning.
Right.
These are the most narrow-minded, intolerant people our country has ever seen.
Ooh, these applause lines are really not working too well.
They are completely ignorant of both world history and American history. Socialism leads to two things.
I didn't know that Rick Scott struggled to speak so much, that his diction was so terrible. I guess I've never heard him speak that much.
Poverty and oppression. Socialism is not a new idea. It's one of the dumbest, oldest, and most discredited ideas of the 20th century that resulted in the deaths of 100 million people. If these Democrats
He seems almost pleased by that.
who have no idea how the real world works are acting like they just invented socialism.
Right.
The modern wacky left Democrat has never read George Orwell.
I don't think that's true.
They don't know they're making his predictions come true. Let's be clear. What the militant left is now proposing is not simply wrong. It is evil.
Man, what an electric speaker, huh? Just unbelievable energy, bringing it to the table. Let's see what else we have. This is from the Alex Jones trial. We'll skip that for now. Let's see what other clips we have from CPAC. We're standing by for JP Mandel, but I did want to see a few other things. Here is, let's see, Trump rally musical choices are undefeated. Let's see what they're playing.
How many people are familiar with the problems that Robin Voss has caused, and Adam Steen, the fact that he was Trump endorsed?
Highway to Hell. Yeah, that's pretty basically on the nose, I would say. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, Ted Cruz is doing his whole pronoun game.
Well, my name is Ted Cruz, and my pronouns are kiss my ass.
Yeah. Whoa. He really showed them guys. Wow. That is powerful. Absolutely powerful stuff there. Man, what an energy is being brought to these events. It's really stunning stuff. All right, we're waiting for J.D. Vance, followed by Marjorie Trader Green at day 2 of CPAC. This is stream 1 for today. There may be a second stream if we get to 100 website members, Twitch subscribers, and gifted YouTube memberships. Danny has just gifted 2 more via YouTube. That puts us at 34. Thanks to Blueberry Babe gifting 3, Jamlock, Sterling Lana, Captain Smiles, and Andy Yamashiro. That puts us at 40. And then thanks to the gifted subscriptions from Tommy Horsewill on my website and John Stapler, we are now at 42, which is, okay, so let me think about this. What's percentage-wise, where are we on the path to 100? 42 divided by 100, 4 into 10 is 0.4, nothing to carry. 2 into 0 is 0.2. I guess that's what, like 43% of the way there? 42 out of 100. I think that's 43% or something like that. I know I'm doing it too fast. I apologize. I got to slow it down. David, have you read The Paradox of Democracy? I have not. What are you reading right now? I just finished one of Richard Preston's books, the one about the 2014 Ebola outbreak in West Africa. I'm now reading McIntyre is the last name. I forget the author's first name. I'm reading the story of American CIA turned KGB spy Kim Philby by McIntyre, which is pretty good. And then for fiction, I'm reading Blake Crouch's new book, Upgrade, which is very entertaining. We need to find David 58 more members in Twitch. Give him a break. I know. Hold on. I have that here. Where is it?
I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break.
Yeah. There's a petition for immigrants not to vote if Democrats provide no relief. Would you please explain why this is a horrible idea? I have not heard about it. I need to figure it out before I can tell you more about it. So we are moments away from J.D. Vance, who is going to speak. I want to say thank you to Patheticus Avalanche of Spinach, Fun Dude, for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Today's coupon code on the website is INDICT. Why do we care about the website? We care about the website because whenever you support us on other platforms, which I love, everybody's taking slices. They're slicing this thing up so thin it's going to be see-through. Twitch takes a slice. YouTube takes a slice. Patreon takes a slice. All these people are taking slices. When you sign up at joinpacman.com, we pay 2% for the credit debit card fee. 98 cents of every dollar goes into the coffers of the David Pakman Show. That's why. That's why the website is the way to go. And you can use the coupon code INDICT to save a bunch of money. You can also use the coupon code OBAMNA to save even more money. I don't like to make a big deal out of it, but it is available to certain people, really to everybody. We make it available to everybody. All right. And again, if we get to 100, I will do another stream tonight from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Here's what's going on there. As you can see, an extremely electric atmosphere in Wisconsin awaiting Donald Trump's arrival tonight as we stand by for J.D. Vance. David, sir, love the show. Do you have a presence on Truth Central? Please advise. It's Truth Social, also known, of course, as Truth Central.
Truth Central.
Right. And I am on there. Orwell was a socialist who fought under the Partido Obrero de Unificación Marxista on the Republican side of the Spanish Civil War. Don't give revisionists even an inch. Homage to Catalonia. Great book. Thank you, Alvaro. Beautiful message. Not sure if you're a fan of Malcolm Nance, but I recommend watching his interview with the Commonwealth Club. Scary, but he makes it palatable. I will check that out. Crazy, I got an advanced copy of Upgrade. I'm a Blake Crouch stan. So happy so many people like him too. Yeah, Emily, I've interviewed Blake Crouch. He's been on the show. You know, I never got into what would be called horror books, or as Bernie Sanders would call them, horror. But I actually, that wasn't bad. I actually have read a bunch of Blake Crouch's stuff just because I like him. He's been on the show. I think, I believe he's been on the show, unless I imagined that. It was years ago. And so I've read a bunch of his stuff. All right, here he is, guys. This is J.D. Vance, the guy Trump, I guess, thought he endorsed, but it wasn't completely clear.
We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel.
We support Vance's opponent, Tim Ryan. Let's listen to the trash.
This is awesome. I've even got some of my family here, so it's going to get especially rowdy here. So I wanted to introduce myself to those of you watching on TV and also those of you in the audience who don't know who I am. I am J.D. Vance. I'm a business guy, but I am now the Republican Senate nominee in the state of Ohio. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take that Senate. I grew up in southwestern Ohio. I was raised by my mama and papa, who came from southeastern Kentucky coal country. And if
so
you know
let me just give
about
some context. This story about mama and papa, J.D. Vance wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy about his upbringing and as a kind of conservative guy. And when I read the book prior to him running, I was like, this guy seems like a reasonable conservative. He used to be anti-Trump. I was like, if I don't agree with him, but he at least seems someone you can talk to. He then went full Trumpian, off the charts, vile, unhinged. And it made me want to burn the book. I didn't, because I don't actually burn books, but it made me want to burn the book.
Why are they in the wardrobe? Why are they in the silverware drawer? And we realized that Mamaw, who couldn't get around that well towards the end of her life, she wanted to make sure that no matter where she was at any moment, she was within arm's reach of a gun, and she could bust a cap if she needed to.
By the way, if I recall from the book, Mamaw was a Kennedy Democrat.
But she was not just a lover of the Second Amendment. She was an incredible woman. She was a disciplinarian. She was tough. She could be firm. She could be firm with the people she loved and also the people she didn't know. I remember when I came home from school one day and I said, Mamaw, this is right after we invaded Iraq in April of 2003. And I said, Mamaw, I would like to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps. And she said, no, you're not. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, because I'm not letting anybody go to the Marine Corps given what's going on. She loved the Marines. She loved the individual Marines, but she was scared, like a lot of young parents and grandparents are for their kids. And so when I brought the recruiter over to our house to try to persuade her that she should let me enlist in the United States Marine Corps, she told the recruiter, if you step 1 foot on my porch, I'll blow it off. And so they had a conversation about the U.S. Marine Corps while she stood up on her porch and he stood in the yard. And that was how he eventually persuaded my Mamaw that I could join the Marine Corps. And the reason I'm running for Senate, the reason that I love this country is because the country was so good to me. The people who are here, supporting me, the people who are always there for me, everybody from, public school teachers who took an interest in me to the Marine Corps drill instructors who provided needed discipline. This country, ladies and gentlemen, is a great place, and it was an especially great place to a kid like me. And for that reason, I believe it's time to step up, it's time to fight for it, and ladies and gentlemen, it is time to save this country and do it in the right way.
Yes. Which in this particular race you do by voting for his opponent, Tim Ryan, who's been a guest on this show.
Think about, where else but America could a kid who grew up in a poor family in southwestern Ohio be running for the U.S. Senate at the age of 38? Where else could a kid who grew up, in a non-traditional family where things weren't always easy have the opportunity and the ability to start a business and to be a husband, a good father, to raise 3 children in a city that we love? This country, ladies and gentlemen, don't ever let them tell you that it's not worth fighting for. Don't ever let them tell you that it's not worth saving, because a country that can provide those dreams and those rights.
Is anyone saying the country's not worth saving? I haven't heard anybody say that.
We need to save, and ladies and gentlemen, at this conference, we are dedicated to doing just that. Now, I was endorsed in my race by President Trump, and I expect that hopefully he'll come back to the state of Ohio and campaign with us a little bit. But there was something that President Trump said, something that never got as much attention as I thought it should, because you hear a lot about this word dreamers, about people who are in this country, some of them in this country illegally, and about the dreams that they have. And he said that, what we never talk enough about is that American citizens have dreams too. And I think about that.
Do people pay to go to CPAC, or do they get paid to go to CPAC?
When so many of our citizens, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the policies of the Democrats and the Biden administration, thanks to the woke corporations who silence Americans and ship American jobs overseas, there are a lot of American citizens that are having their dreams challenged. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time that we here in this room fought for them, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Now, when you grow up in a family that doesn't have a lot of money, there are little things that you notice, little things that you might not notice. And so I want to just tell you something very briefly. I was talking to somebody who is involved in the grocery business. And he told me that one of the things that they're seeing right now is that people aren't buying hamburger and hot dog buns as much. They're buying a lot of white bread. And I remember in my Mamaw's house, when money got especially tight, that was one of the first things that you cut out, is you replaced hamburger and hot dog buns with white bread. So
aren't hamburger and hot dog buns white bread?
Country are buying white bread. It's because the Joe Biden economy has made it hard for families to have hot dogs with hot dog buns, and that is an unacceptable thing. Ladies and gentlemen, our people...
He will bring back hot dogs.
And one of those dreams is that they should be able to have a family cookout with hamburger buns, and they should be able to fill up their gas tank with a reasonable price gasoline. Those are the dreams.
Gas has declined 50 days in a row. But don't even get him started on sausages.
People dream of being able to send their children to school where they're taught that American history is something to be proud of and not something to be ashamed of. Our people, they dream of being able to send their kids to trade schools, to jobs, to universities, to apply for those things without explicit racial discrimination, which is something that I guarantee you we all know is happening in this country right at this very minute. They dream of being able to go into the drugstore and buy pharmaceutical ingredients, antibiotics.
By the way, he's talking about white people being discriminated against. To be clear, I know some of you might have heard that and thought, oh, wow, he cares about racism. He's talking about white people being discriminated against.
They dream of being able to send their kids to the Marine Corps and to the other military branches where they're not kicked out for refusing to take a vaccine for a disease that is not a danger to those young kids.
Right. The other 14 vaccines you need in the military, those are fine. They only have a problem with this one.
They dream of a country where the Attorney General puts the people in jail who burn down American cities, not the people who are protesting peacefully at their kids' school.
Protesting peacefully at my kid's school. Completely normal behavior for parents to show up at their children's school to protest and badger administrators.
People who just want a good life in the country that their grandparents and great-grandparents built, the people who want their children to have a better life than they did, they are winnable. They are winnable in 22 more than any other time. I'm J.D. Vance. You can go to my website. I'm at jdvance.com. And I want you to support me. I want you to make phone calls for me. I want you to go out there, if you're in Ohio, and knock on doors for me. Because the dream...
This guy has to be defeated.
To become a reality when you have a president like the one that we have right now and a weak, fake congressman named Tim Ryan in Ohio who is actually fighting against the very working people that he's...
Tim Ryan's actually a pretty good congressman and a smart guy. He's been on the show.
22 to take this country back, to fight for this country's values, and we are not going to do it unless we get engaged, unless we get energized, unless we recognize...
He will also end Kaiser rolls and Bialys for hamburgers.
Media, to the propagandists, to the Joe Biden administration, we are going to send a message that the American people, we have dreams too, and it's time to fight for them. Thank you, and God bless you.
We've endorsed J.D. right? J.D. Mandel.
So there is J.D. Mandel endorsed by Trump, unbeknownst to everybody, even unbeknownst to Trump, seemingly. And next, we will be hearing from Marjorie Trader Green. That is coming up soon. I want to thank Milo Wild, Samanthan, Boshimonos, and Elias His Highness for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 49. Kevin Taylor has just gifted 5 YouTube subscriptions, putting us at 54. And significant membership dumps happening on the website. I want to say thank you to Mara Loffridge, who's a new member. Thank you, Mara. I want to say thank you to Neil Jaworski. And then gifted memberships from Jami Bouge, Amy Rugala, Jamila Bouge with 2 gifted memberships, and then Zeno the Stranger. That's 5 more, 7 total, 54 plus 7, 7 and 4 is 11, 1 carry the 1. That's 61. We are now 61% of the way to a second stream today. I will stream the Trump rally tonight, checking in Wisconsin. Pillow in Wisconsin.
No Fox, no Newsmax. Shame on them. I mean, look at what's happened since then. We've rose up. Look at all your viewers.
You know, I think Lindell, who spoke earlier today at CPAC, he must have flown there on a machine, right?
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
So there is Pillow in Wisconsin for tonight. J.D. Vance strongly standing up against potato bread as well as brioche for burgers. This will not stand. We rose up against brioche. Absolutely. Thanks to Jen here for gifting a subscription on Twitch as well. BW Rock says, CPAC 2022 agenda to bring white bread and hot dog bun prices down. Says multimillionaire hillbilly fans. Exactly right. Exactly right. That's absolutely the absurd theme of this completely pathetic event. So next is an event called I'll Take My Committees Back Now. It will involve someone named Sarah Carter and radical repugnant Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. That is coming up next. Thank you to Travis Faulds for the website subscription, 63. Folks, let's not miss out on the second stream tonight. We are at 63 out of 100 with Marjorie Taylor about to come out. And I believe we can do it. It is my belief that the American people and all of the people in our audience can do it. Here is Marjorie Taylor Greene with someone named Sarah Carter. This is going to be as weaponized as any of us can imagine. Yikes.
All right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is like a cartoon character.
I told Congresswoman Greene, I said, everyone here is waiting to see you. They want to hear you. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I was just saying, you know, Sarah and I, we need a whole hour out here with you guys. What do you think?
God, please no.
We would love to do it. They are going to keep us on a timer, so I'm going to start off with the first question. And I told you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to these allegations that came up and lies. We saw memes and lies. I showed you one of them, trying to compare your statements to Adolf Hitler.
Well, there we go. The laughter from the crowd is exactly right. Well, you know what, Sarah, I take that very seriously. Ever since I've become a member of Congress, I've been the most attacked member of Congress in United States history, and I'm appalled by it, and so is my family, and so are my friends, and so are my district. Being kicked off committees and lied about constantly in the media is disgusting.
What a victim,
and
huh?
all of us are fed up with it. But when I said that I'm a Christian nationalist, I have nothing to be ashamed of, because that's what most Americans are. We're proud of our faith.
You kind of do have something to be ashamed of.
We're proud of our faith, and we love our country. And that will make America great again. When we lean into biblical principles, you know, is there anything wrong with loving God and loving others? No.
The facts are that America is less religious over time. It is perpetually less and less and less religious.
America and Americans first, then we really will win, and the Democrats will not destroy our country. So I don't back down from those comments, but I denounce the lying media for what they've said. Enough of it.
And
yeah.
You've seen that over and over again. This is an issue that has been first and foremost, I think, ever since 2016 specifically. We saw the nation, you know, in turmoil, political turmoil, the weaponization of our agents.
I guess that this Sarah Carter is a current Fox News anchor from what I'm seeing online.
Republicans who supported him. Talk a little bit about that and how that not only affects the members of Congress and how you're going to handle that in the future, but affects the American people.
Well, I think it affects all of us. And what I've seen in Washington ever since I've gotten there is fear because of these lies in the media. And look at what we've all dealt with. Why is it that the mainstream media, and why is it that the trolls all over social media, and you know the ones that run the big tech platforms, why do they get to lie about President Trump, his administration, Republicans like me? Why does CNN get to sell the Russian collusion lie over and over and over again, and now sell Liz Cheney's lie of January 6th over and over and over again?
What's the lie?
Why do they get to call me horrific names and call you horrific names, kick all of you off of social media, and silence your voices?
What names has CNN called Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Then, like somebody like Alex Jones, who did say some things.
What?
But yet he is being politically persecuted right now and being forced to pay out millions and millions.
Defending Alex Jones.
No one agrees with what he said, but what we're tired of is the political persecution. I'd like to know, when the Democrats and the liars in the media and the people that canceled all of you and me on big tech, when are they going to pay all of us millions of dollars, right? Well, I tell you what, Sarah, here's this.
Yeah.
When Republicans take back the House, I'm going to be one member of Congress that's there to hold everyone accountable. And I think that's the most important thing I can do.
Let's talk about that. when Republicans take back the House, if that happens this November, what are going to be your main priorities? And they're talking about you for oversight right now.
Get ready for this.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, do you guys want to see me on the Oversight Committee?
Dear God.
Yeah, there'll be some fire coming out of that committee. Sarah, you have reported on some incredible abuses, just outright breaking laws, horrible things that we've seen from our politicians, and those are the type of things I'd like to go after. Here, I'll just give you guys a few. What do you guys think about Anthony Fauci and Dr. Rachel Levine? Right. Yeah, I think any
Boo trans.
practices Frankenstein science that led to the creation of COVID-19, I think he should be fired. What do you guys think?
Oh, so she's going with Fauci made COVID. Oh.
Very good point.
Yes.
Because, and just to clarify for everyone, Senator Rand Paul has been very open about this as well. There's been evidence that the Wuhan laboratories knew that when the virus was released, it would go across the globe. Now there's evidence that NIH funded Wuhan laboratories.
I love how she's acting like this is new when the truth is, like 3 weeks ago we got a report that's like, yeah, it was of animal origin in a Wuhan wet market.
Yes, absolutely. Not only do we need to get to the truth, we need to hold them accountable. If they can have a fake January 6th committee that is persecuting President Trump's administration and staff, innocent people, and if they have a judicial system, a Department of Justice, and an FBI that has led to the persecution of American citizens that did go in the Capitol on January 6th, but now they're being held in jail still to this day, that they need to be held accountable. We can't be the Republican Party that just talks the talk on the campaign trail anymore, Sarah. We have to be the Republican Party that delivers.
All right.
As far as the Republican Party, do you feel that there are divisions within the Republican Party as well, that you're standing up to maybe, and we've heard this before, an establishment? Will we see more unification of that Republican Party come November or 2024?
Well, I will tell you this, and I've always been open and honest about it. There is a civil war in the GOP. But I'll tell you what, Sarah, I lean into it because I know that iron sharpens iron, and there's one way to...
The craziest people in the Republican Party are going to win the war, is what she's telling us.
...out inside in our meetings and in our offices, and that's what we've been doing. We've been doing it for months. But here's what I really want to see from our Republican conference. Like I said, our voters, and I've been saying this, our voters and our donors and everyone that supports the Republican Party, they aren't going to support us if we do not stop what's happening to America. We're a country with over $30 trillion in debt. We're a country that has wide open borders. We're a country that is in a recession, no matter how they define it.
Does anybody know in what way the borders are, quote, wide open?
When absolutely they cannot. Each of us are made in the image of God, in his image, male and female in his image. And if we're the Republican Party that is willing to not only close our borders to the daily border invasion, if we're the Republican Party that isn't capable of stopping the crime and putting criminals in jail, if we're the Republican Party that isn't capable of defending children and protecting them from genital mutilation, puberty blockers, and just outright perverse teachings in our taxpayer-funded schools, then what kind of party are we? And we will not deserve, nor will we get...
Man, that's quite a word salad there.
So I will be urging my colleagues, look, we've got to fight harder than ever before because the Democrats have showed us who they are, Sarah, and you've seen them. You have reported on it over and over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We have to stop them.
You brought up a great point. Yeah, she brought up a very good point here. Seeing who someone is. It's important that certain positions in government carry certain qualities. Right. Now, I'm not going to put you completely on the spot here as for House Speaker, but what are, right?
I
mean, you can go there if you want. But what are
That
the
is a frickin'
qualities
predator right
that
there.
you look for in a Speaker of the House?
What I'm looking for is fearless leadership. I'm looking for a speaker that's not going to be pushed around by the lobbyists and the corporate PACs because I don't take their money. And I'm looking for a speaker that is going to think about those small business owners the same way they think about the corporate owners and the same way they think about the janitors, the truck drivers, and the factory workers. I want a speaker that's going to put America first, all of your money first, our borders and our children's future above everything. That's the future Speaker of the House.
So who's that?
And my last question, because we had such a short amount of time, and I would have asked her about everything from Hunter Biden to Afghanistan.
Right.
And I would have said all my points.
They've missed Hunter Biden as a topic.
What is your advice to your base in Georgia, to the American people, about these midterms and how important it is for each and every one of us to be involved in the political process? Do you have any advice for them?
Absolutely. We are a government for the people and by the people. And ladies and gentlemen, if you sit home and you sit it out, then you're going to keep having the government that you have. And that's what's happened for decades now. We haven't held them accountable. And I take as much blame as anyone. What you have to do is you have to show up and vote, even if you don't trust your elections. Because if we sit it out on the sideline, it's like watching a battle rage in front of us.
Your vote will be stolen by Democrats, but you should still vote.
You have to volunteer and work the polls. You have to make sure that they count the ballots correctly. And I think in Arizona, we just saw some crazy shenanigans, but some great people won. But we have to care. If we want the country that we know we have and we know we love and we know we're going to continue to fight for our kids in the future, we have to show up. And that's how we're going to hold them accountable, and that is how we're going to help and make this country great again, because I know it can be done. And I believe in you to do it more than myself. So thank you so much.
Everyone, Congresswoman Green.
Wow. There it is. God, these people. All right, so there was a completely meaningless speech there from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Coming up next is conspiracy theorist Jack Posobiec with someone named David Marcus. Yeah, so there's going to be conspiracies coming up. Thank you to everyone who's here and joining me. I do want to say thanks to Peter Switzer, who just signed up on my website. Also, Kathy Gavel, Michelle Restucci, and Jason Sickmeyer just gifted 3 subscriptions on my website. That puts us at 77. Folks, there's a Trump rally tonight. And if we fill this bar to 100 and we're only 23 away, I will do another stream tonight at the Trump rally. Here's what's going on there right now, as you can see. Very exciting.
The folks we've talked to here in Wisconsin aren't falling for it. They don't like the fact that the gas prices still remain substantially higher than they were under President Trump. And the reality is, it's a poor policy for this nation. Not
right. Let's see if we have any new clips here from the Trump rally among some of my media sources. Let's see what we've got. There's stuff from the Green speech. Already did that. Okay, I guess probably not right now. No, we already played that. Okay, no problem. Well, we're continuing to keep an eye on it. Here's Posobiec, conspiracy theorist. Oh, thanks to Sam Your Dad and Zim Sleep, Skittle Stew has gifted 5, putting us at 84. Let's listen to this.
Now let's do a little audience poll, David. Do you guys want to hear about all the plans that we have for the new right? Are you ready for a new right? Are you ready for new ideas to actually take the fight to the front lines? Because that's where we live and we're not stopping. That's what we're going to talk about.
Whoa.
So let's
So let's start from there, right? Because we hear about the new right all the time, that this term gets bandied about. It's a lot of different factions. It's a lot of different things. You know, briefly, what does it mean to you, those two words?
So for me, when I hear the new right, I think the best way I could encapsulate it is if you think about the founding fathers of the new right. And I think in my view, the two founding fathers of the new right are Andrew Breitbart and Rush Limbaugh.
Oof.
Can we get a round of applause for Andrew Breitbart and Rush Limbaugh?
Yikes. Yikes.
So that's interesting, because I think that when you look at the new right and all of the factions, there are really a core 4 issues that everybody agrees on.
Right.
We need a strong border.
Yes.
We can't have bad trade deals.
Yes.
We need energy independence.
Yes.
And we have to fight the culture war.
Yes.
Distinctive looking fellow here.
Breitbart and Rush were there, and the GOP wasn't.
Exactly.
Right? The GOP
That's exactly
wanted
right.
the border deals with the Democrats. They love trade deals. I mean, my
Precisely.
God, there wasn't...
If you do not talk about the borders, immigration, and trade, the coalition will fall apart. It will completely fall apart. That is the center of it, and the outside piece, sort of almost the animating force, is fighting the culture wars against, whether it be woke corporations, whether it be media, whether it be the Chamber of Commerce, whether it be everybody that Kerry Lake had to fight against a couple nights ago. I just got back from Maricopa County, and we all know about Maricopa County. But we put Maricopa County in their place, and we listen to the people, not the bureaucrats.
But isn't part of that culture war piece that Republicans were so afraid of being seen as big government, right? Everything had to be limited government.
Right.
And then we saw what DeSantis did this year with Disney. He smacked Mickey Mouse in the mouth.
Yes.
And...
But wait, unpack that for a second, because...
Yeah. It's all packed up.
But think about that. Imagine a state relationship with a company between Florida and Disney, and the amount of money that Disney has provided to that state, the amount of tourism, even the outside, the secondary, tertiary economic effects of Disney being in Orlando, right? This is one of the most powerful companies in the entire state of Florida. So from a perspective, it makes sense that the governor would not want to go up against them. And that's why you saw a series of governors who refused to do this. They would work together and walk the line. Governor DeSantis, decided to be the one that said, you know what, it's too far. And these companies, when they step onto the political arena, when they decide to become politicized, now you're not just part of the economy of our area. Now you're trying to tell us how we should live, how our children should be raised, what we should teach in our schools. And that is not the job of corporate America. That's the job of the people and the representatives of the people.
And I think the effect wound up going so far beyond Disney. I guarantee you, 2 years ago, had the Dobbs decision come down, overturning Roe v. Wade, every corporation in this country would have been tweeting about it.
Of course.
Hollywood and Major League Baseball would have been pulling events out of all the states. None of that happened this time.
No.
The silence was eerie. And the reason that those corporations were silent was because Ron DeSantis, and all of you, quite frankly, have let them know that there is a price to pay if they interfere in the culture and the politics of the United States. And that's not going to change.
No, you're exactly right, because they can sense that the ground has shifted under their feet. And, Klaus Schwab has got his great reset.
Oh, God.
I just went over there, by the way. If you guys know, we were over in Davos, and I was doing a hit for the War Room. Do we have any War Room fans, maybe?
No.
One or two? Okay, I think I see one or two hands in the back. Yeah, a couple of guys have heard of it. And we're doing a hit for there, but then we're also doing a documentary for Turning Point USA. And Klaus Schwab sent his goons out to detain me, right, while I was doing a documentary on the Great Reset. And while I'm standing there with these World Economic Forum assigned police, 9mm, guns drawn, and I'm sitting in the back of my head, I said, we are such a threat to you. We are such a threat to this agenda because they have the Great Reset, we have the Great Awakening.
So let me...
And this is what you're saying, because the WEF, this is corporate power.
Yes, but I kind of described the 4 things that I think we all have in common on the new right. I do think there's one area, and by the way, all 4 of those were core Trump issues.
Yes.
Trump was less clear in terms of foreign policy, right? Trump's foreign policy was very transactional. You never knew what he was going to do. There wasn't exactly a doctrine. So when it comes to Ukraine and it comes to those issues, you and I have been sort of on different sides of this. And whereas on those 4 issues, the new right arrived and voters were already there.
It's interesting that there's not even a single sort of like interesting, nuanced thinker in this entire thing. This guy on the right, hold on, what was this guy's name? Oh, Marcus, David something Marcus. This is like the closest that they have, and even he's barely making any sense. But other than this guy sitting on the right, it's just overt delusion at this entire thing. There's nothing even remotely interesting in any way.
Odessa, we were in Lviv, we were in Mykolaiv, and I've seen it on the ground. And my question was, if we're sending over $60 billion of U.S. money, where is it? Yes. Where's the $60 billion, Joe? What have you done with this? What percentage? And when you look
He
at the
couldn't find the cash on his trip.
That laptop, and I think that the American people want to support the people of Ukraine, but they inherently know that there's something going on in between us supporting them and the money not going to where it needs to be. And that is where you get politicians, connected families, oligarchs, the whole nine yards.
But more broadly, how do we, what is the American foreign policy that on the one hand keeps us out of expensive entanglements, but on the other hand doesn't just hand geopolitical foes like Russia and China and Iran win after win after win? How do we balance this?
So this is something that I've actually talked about, and I say this as a Navy officer, that it's deterrence, right? Because if you have strategic deterrence and credible deterrence, we just took out Zawahiri, maybe, right? You know, there's some questions about, you know, was he taken out before, et cetera. But the idea is,
was it really Trump who took him out?
In the military, we can reach out and touch somebody without having to go on board with occupying countries and nation building and spending trillions of dollars in the Middle East instead of rebuilding Detroit and Chicago and getting our cities under control, doing something about crime here, that we can be effective on the world stage.
So, I mean, but what does that look like? Does that look like Trump? Does that look like Trump saying to Putin, if you invade Ukraine, I'm going to, there were reports that he said, bomb Moscow.
The minarets, he was talking about the,
he himself says that he put quite a threat out there. But that's his personality. How do we...
There's no evidence of that whatsoever.
...to a foreign policy
document? Like, that was completely made up right there.
You look at Taiwan right now. Taiwan is currently encircled by the Chinese PLA, by the Chinese Navy. They're firing missiles over the island. And you look at our U.S. Navy, and I'm sorry to say this, but as a prior 7th Fleet sailor, we need to fix our Navy, because we're getting trained in wokeness, not training in how, what the military is for is to hurt people and break stuff.
Do you agree with me that...
So if you reestablish that credible deterrence, I think that solves a lot of this.
So back to the broad question of the new right. Are we or aren't we at the point where we can stop calling this the new right and just call it the right? Because...
You know, I've actually been saying that a little bit. I've been saying that a little bit, and I don't want to do away with conservatism. And I say this as someone who's, you know, I'm a dad. I'm God-centered. My family's God-centered. We have so many great publications out there. We're doing human events. We're doing all the new stuff. But we need to understand that
this is like, it's almost comical how absurd and delusional these people are.
It's still the new right. It's not, you know, your granddad's, you know, we're going to go along to get along. We're going to do the pay to play.
Now, how broad can it be? I mean, obviously it's not going to include Liz Cheney, but doesn't it have to include a Malliotakis or a Katko or Northeast Republicans who...
I'm transactional. I'm transactional. You need the person for the district, but at the same time, you've got to be on board with our agenda. You don't get to dictate our agenda.
I think that makes sense. And I think we came in right on time.
I think we did. Look at that. Should we end on time, folks? What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new right. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
God bless.
Completely did. I mean, there were a lot of words said, but absolutely nothing of any real substance there. Just the continued delusions that it is wild. Folks, let's see if we're going to have another stream tonight, because we're getting to the end of this stream. I want to say thank you to Blake Rangel, Nicole Brewer, Jason Ford, and Eric Arnold, who just signed up on my website, putting us at 89. Thanks to Brian Potts, Kevin Combs, and Jason Sickmeyer, who each gifted a subscription on my website. That puts us at 92. We are very close to 100, and that will lock in a second stream tonight. That stream would be coming to us from Waukesha, Wisconsin. As you can see, an electric atmosphere there awaiting a Donald Trump rally.
Capturing on this fentanyl could kill the entire...
Fentanyl. And right on cue, Alexander Hamilton puts us over the limit with a 10 gifted sub tranche, 102 out of the goal of 100. Folks, we have locked in another stream for tonight. I plan to be back with you guys somewhere between 30 and 1,000 minutes before Trump speaks, depending on how late he is. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. Oh, and thanks to Terry Schwerin. Terry also dumping in another gifted membership, putting us at 103. All right, everybody, that does it for me in stream number 1. Tonight's stream is going to be longer. It's going to be wider. It's going to be girthier, for lack of a better term. I will see everybody then. This is most of the interesting stuff from day 2 of CPAC. So we've got the next stream coming up tonight. And then tomorrow we will be here for Kimberly Guilfile, followed up by Donald Trump closing out CPAC. That'll be tomorrow. But I will see everybody tonight. Tonight, I expect a highly triggered Donald Trump. I will see you then.